Hi everybody, this is Haggie, and I got a few things I want to say to everybody. And this is about, we all been talking about peace and love and unity and how we all one, how we're all connected, not only to each other but to the earth, to the universe really. And while we talking about this, we keep throwing names out there. Yeah, we've been doing some name calling and a whole lot of finger pointing at each other, at our neighbors, our friends, and our family members. And my opinion, if you're talking about peace and you're talking about unity, you can't be throwing names at people. You can't be calling like Donald Trump. You can't be calling him from, or plump, or dump, or drum. You can't be calling Hillary Killary. You can't be calling Obama Obama. And you can't be laughing at people 'cause they're upset that Donald Trump seems to have won the election. Well, I understand them being scared and upset. And I think a whole lot of people would be scared and upset if Hillary had won too. We can't be saying we're about peace and unity. And we can't be saying, oh, I'm ascending. I'm in the ascension process. Well, you're not. If you keep doing the name calling and you keep pointing the fingers, 'cause I'm sorry, but those two just don't seem to go together. Peace, love, and then finger pointing and name calling. Strangely enough, those are counterproductive. We have to be mindful of what we say, the words we use, the things we do, 'cause the result of that is to divide us. We can't be making fun of people because they're upset. And maybe they're overacting. Maybe they're being a tad bit dramatic. And maybe they're actors doing that 'cause somebody's paying them to do it. I understand the fear. These are some trying times, that's for sure. And as I say, I know there'd be an awful lot of people out there upset and angry if Hillary had won. It's a shame they didn't let Bernie Sanders and Jill Stein and Gary Johnson and a whole lot of others compete in this fiasco. And it is a fiasco. 'Cause y'all know, awful lot of people can say an awful lot of things. People like what they hear for the most part, and then a whole lot of that stuff they just sweep under the rug like it doesn't really matter. And some of those things that are swept under the rugs are a whole lot more important to humanity than what they want to think it is. And in reality, most of you know that it doesn't matter who gets up in the house. It really doesn't. 'Cause he's still going to have to play the game of those elites and those corporations that really pull the strings. Now, a lot of us call them puppets up in there, and they sure do act like it, that's for sure. Some puppets just don't need so many strings being pulled 'cause they're willing. Others are threatened and blackmailed and who knows what all. Maybe given huge incentives, financially and otherwise, to do what those in power, really in power, want them to do. And sadly, people, a big part of that is the corporations. like the ones that have big stock in the oil companies. And hey, you know, a whole lot of our elected officials get a whole lot of money from those people. And they're allowing, kind of turning their back, acting like they can't do nothing about it when these large corporations defy all the laws, as if they don't work for the government. They don't have to follow the government rules, our laws, that everybody else has to follow. You know why? Because they are the law. Dapple. All these pipeline companies coming through, destroying everything they touch. People. They're destroying the land. They're stealing the land from the First Nations people. Land that we gave them. Well, I say we gave them. It was already theirs. We just took a whole bunch of it, moved them off onto lands that we didn't think was worth much, that we figured these people couldn't live on anyway, so we gave them all this land way out there, way up there. And then, lo and behold, they found oil. They found uranium. They found all kinds of precious, to them, minerals and stuff in that land. And they want it. And they want to put the pipelines, bring oil all the way from Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico. For sure they do. Why? We got so many different types of energy that we could have that's free, which the oil companies don't want free energy because they ain't gonna make no money off of it. That's why we ain't had it. In all these years, we've had the technology. But they've bought up patents and then stored them away so that nobody knows about them, but they're being found out about. They buy up the patents and destroy the technology so they can keep pumping that oil, keep bleeding this country dry, literally. And not just this country, countries all across the globe. And as they do so, they're polluting not just the land, but the water. And you know we can't live without water. And that without the land, you can't plant food. People get sick and die. And as I said, they're not just doing it to the First Nations people. They're doing it to indigenous people all over the world. But not only indigenous people, but white people too. Now, many of us think, oh, it's not our problem. It's not our water. Well, it is. Just because this is going on right now in North Dakota, it's also going on in Florida, in Texas, and who knows where else. But people, the water in North Dakota goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Just stop and think about that. So instead of pointing fingers and making fun of each other, of your neighbors and your friends and your Facebook people, and posting things on Facebook making fun of them, you ought to be trying to see them through your own eyes, see them through their eyes looking in yours, see them from your heart. This could be you. This could be your children, your grandchildren. But I'm going to tell you, if we don't come together, if we don't start pointing fingers and making fun of each other and putting each other down, there ain't going to be a future. Every drop of water that you're going to have to drink, you're going to have to buy. And as T-Bone Pickens said, oh, years and years ago, water is the new oil. That should give you an idea of what their plan is. We pollute it, then we'll filter it and put it in bottles and sell it back to you, and it's gonna be precious. You're gonna pay an awful lot of money for it. They say that good water is hard to find. Well, you know why? The pollution, people. We got to stand together. We gotta stop our own behaviors and activities that only further keep us divided. Because as long as we're divided, the easier we are to conquer. Remember that. Keep that in your heart. Keep that foremost. That love for your brothers and your sisters, no matter what color, no matter what religion, no matter what sexual orientation, no matter if their pants are hanging down, which I got to agree with that, boy, pull your pants up. Seen a lot of girls wearing those too. No matter if they got these huge holes in their ears, 'cause that's what's cool. No matter their hairstyles, 'cause some of them got some crazy hairstyles. Some of them I think's pretty cool, and if I was younger, I might try that out. But no matter what country they came from, okay? This thing about borders change. We fight over borders. We steal land. We go to other countries. We destroy them. Then they got a lot of homeless people. And then we say, oh no, you can't come here. Then they hire the news media. Well, it's already owned by them. To make us afraid of each other. We go bombing other countries and then we go, oh my gosh, up here's this. We got terrorists now. Oh my goodness. Kind of sounded like the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors giving out all these medications that are addicting people. And then we go, oh my, we have an addiction problem in this country. Really? We got to stand together, people. Too much stuff going on. And they're getting more and more brazen about it. In your face kind of stuff. Ha ha, you can't do nothing about it. Well, we can't. Not as long as we're all divided. But we stand together. We can do anything. A whole lot more of us than there are them. We in the U.S. won't go around acting like we the protectors. Take a look what they're doing everywhere else. 'Cause they're doing it here too. They're just a little more subtle. Although I got to say, they ain't so subtle anymore. Well, I'm gonna stop ranting about this. Well, for now anyway. I keep saying it. Been saying it for a long time. Just time for some of us to start listening. Take it to heart. Well, I'll let you go. Thank y'all for listening.